Welcome back to my videos. In this video, guys, the top 10 most overrated bloodlines in Shindo Life. So I did the useless bloodline video, and you guys really liked that video. It got some opinions in the comments. A lot of people agreed or disagreed. It's whatever. Now, please be aware, this is just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people in the game, they know these bloodlines aren't the greatest, or they think these bloodlines are good. It's all opinion-based. That this entire tier list is completely based off of my opinion. But feel free to leave your opinions in the comments below. I will be checking them out, and let's get right to the video, guys. Remember to like, button, subscribe. Now, coming in 10th place in the most overrated bloodlines is actually going to be Kamaki. Now, this one's going to be very low in the list, obviously, because I feel like a lot of people know what the place of Kamaki is. But some people think that Kamaki is like this god, absolute god tier bloodline that'll just eclipse every other bloodline in the game. It's just not true. While Kamaki is definitely not the worst bloodline in the game by any means, it's definitely not even close to being the best. I mean, they nerfed the second ability, in case you guys are not aware. The second ability, for some reason, only normal Kamaki isn't the same as the skin. The skin actually doesn't have a cooldown on the second ability, or if it's like a 2-second cooldown. Not to mention that the actual other abilities of Kamaki, I mean, like, yes, they are good for combo extending, especially in this meta right now. They actually are, definitely not the worst abilities in the game by any means. But I definitely feel like there are much better, and some people think that Kamaki is just the absolute most god tier bloodline in the game. And obviously, that's fairly untrue. All right, so coming in 9th place in the most overrated bloodline list is going to be Arahaki Jokai. Now, this is simple. The reason for this is actually very simple as well. Arahaki Jokai has received so many nerfs that it's just not good anymore. I mean, this third ability, it does a lot of damage. It's good close range for combos, but if you use this ability and you don't know 100% it's going to hit, half the time it'll end up in you getting a self-placed lock stun that is just going to end up in you taking tons of damage that you wouldn't have taken otherwise, because it has no iframes now. It only has iframes for like 0.5 seconds, which is the same as basically having no iframes. I mean, like, come on, man. You obviously have the first ability here. It's good if you know how to use it. I just did 120,000 damage, but please keep in mind I'm modded, and this C-spec, you could actually troll people super hard with it. If you actually go up in the air, you can fling yourself around. It's good for a glitch. What is going on? I think I just glitched my character. I gotta say it. But yeah, Arahaki Jokai, definitely a very overrated bloodline, especially because it just has received so many nerfs. So coming in 8th place is going to be Bankai Inferno. I'm not going to say much about this. Bankai Inferno, it's kind of criminally overrated. I'm going to say it. The actual abilities themselves are super finicky. I say the breakaway is actually good. The second ability is instant. That's cool. The third ability, stun global cooldown. Don't use it. But when it comes to actually Bankai Inferno, the abilities are actually hard to land, completely useless. I mean, I guess if you can land the Z-spec, it's pretty much an instant win because you actually drain. Actually, no, you don't anymore. They nerfed the mode drain on it. But the actual abilities of Bankai Inferno, other than the first ability, are just super finicky as moves. I mean, there's definitely worse bloodlines in the game. As with every other bloodline on this list, there are worse bloodlines. I mean, these aren't the worst bloodlines of the game, but that doesn't mean they're not overrated. I mean, like Bankai Inferno, it's not the worst, but it's not as good as a lot of people claim it to be. The coming to 7th place is going to be Ghost Karashi. Now, this was going to be a case of people just not realizing that, bloodlines get nerfed eventually. So Ghost Karashi, yes, it used to be one of the best bloodlines of the game. The M1s used to not knock back. All the abilities used to do lots of damage. It used to have combo starters and all that stuff. But like first ability, I'm riding a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? But it is also in the auto dodge cooldown now, which instantly makes the move bad. The M1's knock back. The weapon spec is the exact same. I mean, there's not much to say about that. And obviously, guys, the C spec is also still good. But I gotta say, one of the biggest hits to Ghost Karashi, this second ability, you cannot use abilities during it anymore. You can't stack abilities. You can't do anything. So you can just ride around on your motorcycle, and that's about it. I just gotta say, Ghost Karashi is definitely not even close to being good anymore. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you remembered to hit that like button on the video yet? If you haven't already, go ahead and do it. Now, coming in 6th place is going to be Sriracha, and yes, I'm going to be punching the air for probably the next, few of them. Dude, come on, Arahaki Jokai. Okay, so Sriracha, there's not much to say about it. A lot of people actually do know this bloodline isn't the greatest in the world, but some people think this bloodline is a lot better than it actually is, which is, I find kind of weird considering Sriracha definitely has a lot of faults. Look, he wasn't even trying and he just jumped over my ability. But yeah, when it comes to Sriracha, it's definitely not the best. I mean, it's not even close to being the best. And yeah, a lot of people, there's not much to say about it. I'm sure a lot of people actually know this bloodline isn't that great, but some people think this bloodline's actually good, and I think that's the issue. Now, coming in 5th place is going to be Doku Tengoku. Yes, you heard it correctly, Doku Tengoku. Now, this is honestly just because they ever since the Doku Tengoku nerf, for some reason people haven't really acknowledged that it got nerfed, and that's kind of a fault on my part. I'm gonna gonna be honest, because I haven't really talked about it that much. But the third ability, ever since it got added to the counter global cooldown, it generally just hasn't been that great. Because the counter, here, look, let me see if he punches me. The counter, if you use it on someone, there's a half chance that it doesn't even hit them. But if it does hit them, it's a really good ability. But they still haven't fixed it so that it hits 100%. I mean, this grab, it's not good. I mean, it knocks them super far away. I guess if you want to get a quick heal in, it's good. But why not just use a traveling move if you're going to do that? So I think overall, Doku Tengoku, the first ability is kind of the only saving grace of it. But the counter could be worse. But it definitely needs fixed. I think that's the issue with Doku Tengoku right now. The mode is fine. The weapon spec is fine. The counter just needs fixed. That's literally about it. But it still is criminally overrated. A lot of people think this bloodline is a lot better than it actually is. And I just want to put it on this list because I wanted people to open their eyes to the faults of the bloodline. Now, coming to fourth place, it's going to be Sengoku. Now, I do not, I'm not saying Sengoku is bad. Sengoku is not a bad bloodline. It is usable. It is good. It has good abilities. They definitely are not even close to being the worst in the game by any means. But people think Sengoku is like this god tier bloodline. And I think that's going to be a, something throughout this entire list is that these people think these bloodlines are a lot better than they actually are. First ability has too much end lag. Even though the ability is good, it has a lot of end lag, which makes the ability not great compared to other abilities like it. The stun's super predictable. You can block it. Not much to say about that, but yeah, the stun is also really, really good. I gotta say the stun is definitely the best part of the bloodline, and he's dead. And then the counter right here, the counter, like I said, it is definitely an extremely good counter, but your actual end lag of the counter lasts longer than theirs. So they can actually get out and do abilities or whatever, but it still is a really good counter. And I gotta say, Sengoku definitely not even a bad bloodline, but it's definitely very highly overrated as a bloodline itself. So coming to third place, it could be Satori Rengoku. So Satori Rengoku, yes, it received a huge buff. This first ability, I'm gonna say this first ability is absolutely insane. I moded this ability, just did 140,000 damage with ability. That's insane. If you can actually land that ability on someone, they're donezo, you know what I mean? But the actual other abilities of Satori Ren, the clone ability, it's okay. I mean, there's definitely much better counters in the game. There's not much to say about it. This third ability, don't use it ever. It's not good by any means. In the mode, I would honestly just straight up stay away from the mode. There's not really any merits to using this mode over the other really good Z specs of the game. And it also, is super predictable. Yeah, it's just not that great. But this first ability is good. I'll admit it. I am a Satori Rengoku hater. And this first ability, I admit it. It's good. But the other abilities, Satori Ren, don't use them, man. Now, coming in second place and a very close first place is Kagoku. Guys, Kagoku hasn't been good ever since they put the second move on the stun and pull global cooldown. I'm gonna say it, ever since that happened, it hasn't been good. They actually did buff the third ability. It's not in the auto cooldown anymore, so that's cool, I guess. But when it comes to the actual other abilities of Kagoku, yeah, first ability still has an absolute major amount of end lag to the point where you cannot even use it in fights. Weapon spec still extremely good. I gotta say, the mode is kind of the only really, really good thing about Kagoku anymore, because the mode is good. I mean, the mode is definitely the best part of Kagoku. It's what makes Kagoku not absolute trash. This C spec right here, absolutely insane mode drain ability. I mean, you actually also have buffed M1s. The mode is good. Other than the mode, though, Kagoku's a big fat no, man. Big and fat as well. Not even like a small note, big fat note. And I gotta say, guys, if you guys still think Kagoku is good, just try using it against anyone that's actually using any of the super meta bloodlines right now, and you'll quickly change your mind. But it's definitely not, the worst bloodline in the game, like I said before. And there's a reason why people think it's so good. It's not bad. You know what I mean? So honorable mention 1 is actually gonna be Naramaki. So yes, Naramaki is not the worst bloodline in the game by any means. I'm gonna say it, but like there's been this stigma around Naramaki for like a really long time now. I don't know why, but it's just like people think that Naramaki, just because it's Naruto KG, it's the most broken bloodline in the game. It's just weird. Like, it's not bad. There's definitely a lot worse when it comes to bloodlines in this game, but it's definitely not good either. I mean, there's he's dead. All the abilities are super predictable, and there's not really much to say about it. The third ability is removed from the stun global cooldown. That's cool, I guess. Now, coming in at honorable mention 2 is going to be a quick Ren Shiki. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say anything else about it. This counter is the only good move of Ren Shiki. That's literally about it when it comes to this honorable mention. This counter is the only good move. It lasts a long time. It gives you chi back. But these other abilities, they're trash. I mean, there's not much to say about it. They haven't really touched Ren Shiki. They just kind of, made the abilities do more damage, and that's about it, man. By the way, guys, what do you guys think is the most overrated bloodline in the Shindo Life? Feel free to leave in the comments below. Now, coming in first place is, of course, going to be Minakaze, the single-handedly most overrated bloodline ever in Shindo Life history for the longest amount of time, may I say. Minakaze, the abilities, some of them aren't bad, but some of them are extremely bad. The C-Spec, you know, it could be worse. The C-Spec is very usable. I gotta say, the mode, it's a cool mode, you know what I mean? You have a counter right here, boom. It's just the third ability, you can attack during it. It's a cool mode, you know, nothing to fault about it. But the first ability, you know, like I said before, the first ability, it's good. I mean, there's not much to say about it. You can use it to escape combos. Yeah, it's good, man. Especially in this new system where you can't auto-dodge mid-combo anymore. Breakaways are actually even better than they used to be, so keep that in mind. But that's when we start getting into Minakaze's faults. This second ability, I'm gonna say it, this second ability is actually the worst ability in the game. I know, that's gonna sound crazy to hear, but this second ability is so bad, it is actually the worst ability in the entire game. I know some people are gonna get mad at me saying that. Every time someone has ever used this ability against me, it has resulted in them getting killed. I am not lying. You guys could go look at my competitive videos. Lots of people use Minakaze. That second ability is the worst ability in the game because it is very easy to M1 someone at the end of it. You know what I mean? So I'll actually tell you step by step. You can let this first one hit you. You actually don't have to. You have stronger block. The second phase right here, you block before you hit it, and then you immediately start M1ing them, and then you combo them. It's literally a self combo starter. That's bad. Now I gotta say, this third ability is the best ability of Minakaze. If you actually M1 at the end of it, you can extend it without any, you know, gaps whatsoever. It's a good ability, but the other abilities in Minakaze definitely do not make up for it. The first ability, while it is good, I feel like they need to make the shuriken better. I mean, not better, bigger, because like you have to have the aim of a god to be getting smacked in your butt cheeks, you know, getting them slammed together, bajonga magaga, and then try to hit on a shuriken. You know, it's hard. But yeah, Minakaze, most overrated bloodline in the entire game. Anyways, guys, if you guys actually enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys actually want to see another one. Also, if you guys haven't yet, feel free to go to my second channel and subscribe to it. I will be live streaming and uploading other games and stuff like that on that channel, so be sure to go and do that. Anyways, guys, hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.